Katie Thurston reacts to claims she's not a true cancer patient. April 19, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation News fans. Bachelorette Katie Thurston is battling breast cancer. But according to some on the internet, she's not a true cancer patient. Keep reading to find out how she reacted to the insensitive comment. Katie Thurston starts treatment after breast cancer diagnosis. Bachelorette star Katie Thurston went to the doctor earlier this year after finding a lump in her breast. She initially thought the lump was nothing, but sought treatment after it didn't go away. The reality star, 34, was diagnosed with breast cancer after a mammogram and biopsy. She moved from California to New York City shortly after the diagnosis to be near her now husband, Jeff Arcuri. The two eloped last month after Katie's cancer diagnosis. New tests at Columbia Hospital in NYC revealed that her diagnosis wasn't what they thought it was. Katie Thurston has breast cancer, but her cancer is HER2 negative. The initial tests showed HER2 positive, which is more aggressive. As a result of the new diagnosis, Katie Thurston doesn't need chemo. At least not right now, and maybe never. Instead, she's on an oral medication cocktail that includes hormone-blocking therapy. Katie Thurston won't suffer the side effects of chemotherapy like hair loss, but her treatment isn't easy either. She reacts to claims she's not a true cancer patient. According to some social media critics, Katie Thurston's cancer doesn't count as real cancer because she doesn't need chemotherapy. The reality star took to her Booby Broadcast Instagram channel to address the hurtful comments she saw. In a since-deleted post, one person wrote on social media that they were conflicted about stars like Katie and actress Olivia Munn's cancer journeys. The poster said they were especially torn when people like Katie and Olivia opt for surrogacy due to breast cancer. Katie Thurston underwent IVF after her initial diagnosis. Olivia Munn and John Mulaney welcomed their second child through surrogacy last year. The Bachelorette star shared that other cancer survivors debated whether she was a true cancer patient because she didn't undergo chemotherapy. Katie Thurston slammed the hurtful comments. She encouraged survivors to support each other no matter what treatment plan they use for cancer. At the end of the day, cancer is cancer, she wrote. She said that if cancer survivors want to be angry at anyone, they should be angry at the defunding of cancer research or at doctors who don't listen. Bachelorette star gets makeover amid cancer battle. Just because Katie Thurston isn't getting chemotherapy doesn't mean she isn't fighting a difficult battle. She recently opened up about losing interest in pretty much everything, including eating or drinking. She contemplated a huge change to bring spark back into her life. It seemed she settled on a way to make her life feel somewhat normal again. She posted on Instagram story that she got her hair cut and colored. The former reality star shared before and after photos that revealed a brighter shade of brown. Bachelorette alum Katie Thurston revealed her cancer diagnosis earlier this year. The world collectively gasped. Known for her brash honesty and no-nonsense attitude, Katie had won over fans with her boldness. And now, that boldness was being tested in ways no one could have predicted. But in a bizarre twist, a growing pocket of critics are questioning the validity of her diagnosis. That's right, some online trolls have dared to claim that Katie Thurston is not a true cancer patient. And if you know anything about Katie, you already know she had something to say about it. The former Bachelorette isn't sitting quietly while people spread rumors and misinformation about her health. She's clapping back, exposing harsh truths, and reclaiming her narrative in a way only Katie can. This is the story of how Katie Thurston went from fighting for love to fighting for her life and her dignity. Chapter 1. The diagnosis that changed everything. It started with a cryptic Instagram story in February. A black screen, a white heart emoji, and the words, "Sometimes life throws you a curveball." The next day, Katie made it official. She had been diagnosed with early-stage cancer following a routine checkup. She didn't go into too much detail at the time, but she assured fans she was staying positive and focusing on her health. Messages of love flooded her inbox. Bachelor Nation stars rallied behind her, but not everyone believed her. Within weeks, rumors began to spread. A few anonymous Reddit threads began to question how serious her condition really was. "She's still doing brand deals," one commenter wrote. "Seems weird for someone going through cancer." Others chimed in with harsher claims that she was faking it for attention, that she was exaggerating, that she was making cancer trendy. And it didn't stop there. Chapter 2: The Online Witch Hunt begins. What began as whispers soon erupted into full-blown commentary. TikTok T accounts picked up the story, running wild with unverified claims. YouTube creators posted reaction videos dissecting her every post. Did she look too healthy? Was she wearing makeup too often? Was she too active to be really sick? The assumptions were cruel and relentless. "I just don't buy it," said one TikTok user with 250K followers. "I think she's using this to get attention during her low period. No one even talks about Katie anymore, and now suddenly she has cancer." Another added, "Where's the hair loss? Where's the chemo? You can't just say you have cancer and expect people to clap." Katie's supporters were horrified, but for days she stayed silent, until one explosive Instagram live changed everything. Chapter 3: Katie claps back and names names. On March 12, Katie finally broke her silence. She went live on Instagram, looking directly into the camera with a calm but icy expression. "You want transparency. Let's talk." And she did. She began by confirming her diagnosis. "I have stage 1 endometrial cancer. It's real, it's terrifying, and it's mine to deal with, not yours to dissect for clicks." She detailed how it was discovered during a routine exam, how she underwent a biopsy, and how treatment wasn't as straightforward as people thought. Not every cancer patient is bald. Not every cancer patient is hooked up to chemo every day. Her voice cracked, but every cancer patient deserves respect. Then, in an unexpected twist, she called out several creators by name, showing screenshots of mocking comments and false claims. "This person here said I was making it up. This person here mocked my appearance. You guys think you're doing journalism, but you're just bullies with ring lights." The live was viewed over 3 million times in 24 hours. Bachelor Nation had never seen Katie this raw, and suddenly the internet couldn't look away. Chapter 4: Support floods in, and so does more hate. In the days following her clapback, several Bachelor alums rushed to her defense. Tayshia Adams commented, "Proud of you for speaking up. No one should have to justify their pain." Nick Viall wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "It's disgusting what people will say for engagement." Katie doesn't owe anyone an explanation, but the fact that she gave one shows strength. Even Greg Grippo, her once dramatic ex from The Bachelorette, posted a subtle message. "Don't believe everything you read. Some of y'all are wild." But the trolls weren't done. In fact, some of them doubled down, claiming Katie's live was staged. Others demanded to see her medical records. One user even started a bizarre petition titled, "Hold influencers accountable for fake health scares." And that's when Katie made her next bold move. Chapter 5: The blog post heard around the world. 2 weeks after her Instagram live, Katie dropped a detailed blog post titled, "What You Don't See: Living with Cancer in the Public Eye." The essay, raw and unfiltered, walked readers through everything: the diagnosis, the fear, the loneliness, the procedures. She revealed that she had undergone a minor surgery to remove abnormal tissue and was currently in hormone therapy to prevent recurrence. "No, I'm not hooked up to a chemo machine, but every time I go in for treatment, I wonder, will this be the time the side effects hit harder?" Will this be the time I cry in my car before driving home? She didn't post selfies from the hospital. She didn't do brand deals in a hospital gown. But that didn't make her experience any less valid. I'm tired of performing pain for strangers, she wrote. This is my life, not your content. Chapter 6. Turning Pain into Purpose. By April, Katie had begun using her platform to educate. She launched a new series on Instagram titled Myth-Busting Cancer, where she tackled misconceptions about invisible illnesses. She invited doctors, survivors, and mental health professionals to discuss what it's actually like to live with early-stage cancer. Her DMs became flooded with messages from fans thanking her for sharing what so many go through in silence. One woman wrote, "I have the same diagnosis as you. Thank you for making me feel seen." But Katie didn't stop there. She began working with a nonprofit focused on women's reproductive health and even teased a future podcast titled Not Sick Enough about people navigating medical gaslighting. It was clear Katie was turning her trauma into something powerful, but she had one last message for the haters. Chapter 7. Katie's final word, for now. In an April 15 update, Katie posted a close-up selfie with no makeup, under eye circles visible, captioned, "This is what cancer can look like. This is what healing looks like. This is me, and I'm done apologizing." She continued in the caption, "To everyone who has questioned, belittled, or mocked my journey, I hope you never experience what it's like to be told you have cancer and then be told your pain isn't real." The comments were flooded with support. Even fans who had drifted away from Katie over the years were now in awe of her vulnerability, her power, her refusal to be boxed in. EPIOGE, the legacy of being too honest. Katie Thurston was always polarizing. Her season of The Bachelorette was filled with drama, confrontations, and tough conversations. But whether you loved her or hated her, she was never fake. And in the face of one of the darkest chapters of her life, she chose to be even more real. She chose to expose not just her diagnosis, but the ugly underbelly of influencer culture, where being sick isn't enough unless it fits a perfect narrative. So is Katie Thurston a true cancer patient? Only she and her doctors get to decide that. But one thing is for sure, she's a fighter, and she's not going anywhere.